Good evening. I'm Helen Sadler, your destiny helper. Happy Thanksgiving Eve to you. It is a wonderful day. We're going to talk about holiday Hoovers because many of you are being hoovered at this time. Hello there, Andia. How are you? Thank you for joining me on this evening. Holiday hoovers are something that a lot of times happen around special days, especially a time like this, especially February. February is really crazy because you have Valentine's Day. But like Thanksgiving and Christmas, they know that people want to be with someone and they don't want to be alone. So a lot of times you get holiday hoovers. And when the narcissists don't want to be bothered, they will come out of hiding, especially if they have ghosted you, if they have discarded you, or you have escaped. They will make those hoovers really almost where you can't deny them. I mean, you get all kind of gifts, all kind of calls. I mean, out of the blue, they just start calling. Out of the blue. You may not have heard from them in 7 months, and they start calling, they start texting, they start showing up on your feeds, they start liking your feeds, complimenting you, sending pictures of them, making you want them, calling to see if you will answer the phone, calling to see if their number has been blocked. And if their number has been blocked, they will leave messages. Look, I know I hurt you, and I'm so sorry. You know, I'm willing to do what I wasn't willing to do before. I'm willing to go to counseling. I'm willing to get this relationship back on the road. I recognize being without you, how much I needed you in my life. Hello there. Is that Prue Heavy? Okay. We are going to take care of that until my moderators come on. Thank you so much. So many of you don't know what to do because you know what you've been through. You're afraid. The Hoovers have shocked you, challenged you. It has awakened emotions inside of you. You don't want to subject yourself to the Hoovers, but your emotions saying, well, give them another chance. Try them again. It's going to be better this time. Especially with him doing all the promising. He is promising you, I'm going to get the therapy. If you just let us in, let's talk about it. I'm willing to talk about what you need, what you think is wrong. They're not willing to talk about it. They want in. And after the love bombing phase, guess what you're going to encounter? Everything that you encountered before. Guess what's going to happen? Everything that happened before. They don't have anything different other than the mirroring of the last supply. And if they are hoovering you, it didn't go good. They're not getting from the last supply what they're getting from you. Period. They're just not getting it. And so what they're hoping is that you let them in and you forgive them. You can forgive them, but forgiving them don't mean we have to do it again. Forgiving them, we were together for 10 years. You discarded me. You didn't close the door. I didn't even know you were gone until you were gone. You never called within this year, within these 6 months, within these 3 years and said anything. You just show back up as if nothing has ever happened. You just show back up as if you didn't hurt me. How did we be together for 10 years and you disappear and you show back up like nothing ever happened and you want me to trust you again? They didn't call to check on the kids. They wasn't concerned about the kids. And when the kids asked about them, it wasn't there. Now, some narcissists will discard you, but they will keep in contact with the children. She said, yes, absolutely. Eminem. They will keep in contact with the kids. And what they would do is the keeping up with the kids is the door opener. So for when they come back, because the narcissist has already seen what they're going to do in the future. They've already arranged in their mind how they're going to do it. I'm going to make sure, and there are some that will actually take care of the kids. Not all narcissists are deadbeats. They're going to torture you, but they don't want the report that they are deadbeats. They're not going to give you what you asked for, but some of, because they, especially the somatic, and you got the covert, they're really concerned about imagery. Now, when you're dealing with the sociopath, the psychopath, the millennial, they don't care nothing about that. They be like, do what you want to do. If you want to tell everybody I ain't doing nothing, that I'm a deadbeat, then you do what you want to do. But the covert and the somatic, oh, no. Reputations is everything. They want to keep their reputation. That's why a covert will stay in a marriage for 50 years. They cheated the whole 50 years, serial cheating. They never stop. And guess what? They're not planning to stop. But they're going to make sure they do what you want them to do. They're going to make sure that you can't say, I didn't take care of business. And then they want it to be that when they disappear, you get blamed for it. Thank you, Danielle, for coming on. I've been waiting for you. We done had a few cross paths since you've been off. So what they do is, that's why it is so imperative that when you are with them, it's hard. A lot of people say, well, I'm going to keep my wits. That's what you tell yourself, but that's not what's going to happen when you are totally with them. That's not what they're going to do. That is not part of the program. Because of the nature of the narcissist, you're not going to do that. Their regular nature won't allow you to do that. There's going to be some torment. There's going to be some pain. When you're dating someone and they have a hole inside of them, they're empty inside of them, you are not going to walk in fullness. Absolutely impossible. That is not going to happen. Why? Because that's not what they do. That's not who they are. And who they are doesn't cater to your well-being. It caters to their well-being. It caters to who they are. Come on now. You said this the holidays. Maybe I should give them another chance. What you're going to get is worse than what you've had. It's like doing another round with a worse person. She said, that's good right there, Mom. Absolutely. It's not going to get better. Getting better is you. Getting wiser is you. Getting stronger is you. If the house was on fire, would you stay in the house? The house on fire, do you leave the family in the house? Your emotions are on fire. Your life is on fire. Your emotions is in warfare. It's on a war ground. Your emotion is under attack. And it's hard when the whole initiation is geared to your pain. When the whole initiation is geared to your struggle. It's hard to fight against things that are fighting against you, and the intent is to bring you down, because you must be in subjection. You said, but what if you still love them? That has nothing to do with it. You can still love something and leave it. You can still love something and abuse it. You can still love something and challenge it. You see what I mean? When you allow yourself to get tangled into a web, you know there is a black widow spider. The black widow spider builds a nest, and the black widow spider go and hide. Hello there, MMWX. How are you, W? And when the black widow spider hide, and as soon as someone hit that net or hit that web, it releases a vibration. The black widow female come out of hiding to assess what has hit that web. If it's someone that she cannot mate with, she kills it and suck it dry from the inside out. Because once she bite it, the poison goes into the body and break the body down in liquid form so she can be able to consume it. She said, I think I'm frozen. MMXW, go out and come back in. Go out and come back in if you're frozen. Yeah. And if it's a male, she mates with the male and then she kills him after she mates with him. And she consumed it. The black widow, the narcissist sometimes can be like that. MMXW, MNM say, you are talking. And the black widow always trapped the prey. When you are with a narcissist, whether it's the holiday Hoovers or whether it's a situationship, it can feel like a trap. You feel like there's no way out. You feel like you're in prison walls. You feel like sometimes the walls are caving in on you. No matter what you do, it's like the walls are breathing, and the more the walls breathe, when it begins to exhale, it's coming in on you. When it's inhale, it's expanding, and it's like a rubber band. And each time it expands, and each time it exhales, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until you feel like you're being smashed. At that time, you have some decisions because you cannot snap. You need to go on my clubhouse, Helen Sattler, Destiny Helper House, do the replay and listen to some of the things we're saying. Because some of you are actually going through this. Some of you are feeling this. Some of you feel like your mind is closing in. Your thoughts are closing in. Some of you feel like you're going in slow motion. You're thinking one thought at a time with great effort. You don't know how to assess your emotions. So many things that happen, excuse me, at one time. So many situations have occurred at one time. You're trying to take care of the kids. You're trying to take care of the house. He's still there. You're still working. Everything is a struggle. It's a struggle to think. It's a struggle to take care of the kids. It's a struggle to take care of the house. You feel isolated because you don't want people to think that you're going through what you're going through. And the truth of it is, you are looking for someone that you can talk to tell them, I'm on the edge. I feel like I am going to snap. I'm having problems sleeping. I get up from work with a lack of sleep. On my job, I don't want to make mistakes because I don't want to lose my job. And then I'm driving, and sometimes I pull up in the driveway. I don't know how I got home. I pull up in my office. I don't even know how I got in my office. And I'm working, and people are saying, Susan? And then I didn't even realize they was talking to me. And they said, you okay? You're like, I'm okay. I'm just tired. The kids. It's always an excuse. And you know you're in trouble. Psychologically. Some of you haven't heard from the narcissist. and you're on edge saying, have they forgot about me? You're saying, what did I do? You didn't do anything. This is part of their scheduled program. Programmed to discard you. Because they're planning to come back a lot of times. And when they don't, they found other supply. But sometime, whether it's 2 years, 1 year, year and a half, they show up out of nowhere and try to contact you. Do not respond to them. No matter how you want to respond, do not respond to them. Stay no contact. If they make it where there's no contact, take what they give you as a gift. No contact. You have to come off of social media because you can't stand to see them. Come off of social media. If you have to get yourself together, you do what it takes for you to get yourself together. You do what it takes for you to survive. You do what it takes for you to grow your mind, change your mind. If there are friends that the narcissist hadn't put their claws in, and they don't have narcissistic fleas, or they're not a flying monkey, because sometimes there's game stalkers. Game stalkers is when the narcissist have befriended your friends, befriended your family. In front of them, they are so perfect. MMXW says, that's the best thing to do, no contact. When you speak of, she said, when you speak to them, they do their best to trigger you. Absolutely. They do their best to trigger you. Why? Because they need to see evidence of trauma bonding. They need to see the work was fruitful. They need to see you hurt. When they see you hurt, they know they can get in. Hello, Destiny Helper. It's good to see you. Hello there, Helen, Lena. How are you? Thank you for joining us. They need to see what they are doing is working. It's producing. And what you have to do is protect your heart, because it can hurt. And you got to remember, there's no medicine for a broken heart, because you are deeply in love with the narcissist, but you don't have the reciprocal. The narcissist is deeply in love with themselves. And if you've been with them a while, they show evidence of self-love. They show evidence of self-care. They show evidence of self-absorption. MMXW says, MM says, that right there, Mom. The wolves in sheep clothing around your family and friends. She said, and when they get you, allow the abuse to start. And when they get you, allow the abuse start. Yep, they do. It does. When you have a narcissist family, it's a tribe. You always have a leader when you're dealing with a narcissist family. See? And the family are one unit. It's a culture. And you got to remember, you are not the first person that came through this. They've done this over and over and over again. When you have the parents and they have control of the kids, they are narcissists with a main narcissist, and the kids have a narcissist. You're in trouble, because they are going to gain team against you. She said, imagine both of your parents like this. She said, growing up, not a one care. So thankful for Father God. Absolutely. Helen said, I am well and here to hear you. Hear the nuggets about the narcissist abuse. Absolutely. And you got to remember, a family game is just that. They have family structure. They are used to bringing in a prey. Everybody hems in on the prey. And their job is to love the prey in, to make the prey feel like they're wanted, to get the guards of the prey down. And when the prey gets down, the main narcissist launch an attack. And when they launch an attack, they cause the person to question themselves. What did I do wrong? And then everybody else comes in and undergird the question. Like, why would you do that? And they're wondering, what did I do? Why would you say that? You like, what did I say? She said, there's something about the holidays that amplifies the triggering when Hoovers happen. Yeah, because they know most people do not want to be alone in the holidays. That's the trigger. When you are feeling lonely, the narcissist say, I'm what you need. When you feel like I want to be with somebody, they say, I am what you need. When you feel like I want just somebody there, they become your answers. That's when they send in the love bombing, because the holidays bring out that ooziness, that coziness. And guess what? They loaded with it, and none of it is real. No matter how long you be with a narcissist, you never really know them. You can get some patterns with their behavior, but they're constantly mirroring. Until you're like, where did that come from? Who is that? Their voices may even change. They come in real deep, and you're like, what? What's wrong with you? Are you sick or something? Then they come in, you're like, this person may have a problem mentally. But then they love you the way they used to love you. They touch you the way they know you want to be touched. And you forget all about it. Because maybe 45 minutes of a feel, 45 minutes of total passionate love making over and over. And then you get out of the bed to hell. She said, I had to change my number this week. I was getting calls every hour. It's been going on most of this year, and I didn't want to start the new year like that. But you know what, MMXW, you're smart enough to know that I'm not going to engage in that. I'm no longer going to be a part of that. I'm not going to allow my emotions to be tormented like that. I'm not going to allow my growth to be stunted. I'm not going back to a past wheel that can't turn, a past deal that won't work, a past experience that's going to crush me out. Been there, done that, and won't do it again. Says, don't allow your feeling to cause a setback from what you walked away from. Don't settle, ladies. Know your worth. Absolutely. You cannot. You cannot. You got to remember, when the narcissists come, they're coming on previous history. They think they really know you. They've experienced you. And that's why they've experienced you in the height of what they call glory. They experienced you in the depth when you were down in the dumps. That way, hello there, Karen, how are you? They experienced you in the dump. And so what they can do is, while you in the dumps, they press you in to see how far they can press you in. And while you in the height, they want to see your strength come out. They want to see your power come out. Because when that comes out, it tells them what they need to crush in you. If you start being creative, they're going to crush your creativity. If you start being powerful, they want your strength gone. If you start being more clingy, that's what they want. I want to keep that going right there, because I want them to see me as their resolution. I want them to see me as their answer. I want them to see me as their roadway. And I want to make sure I paint the road where they can't do without me. They feel like I'm the answer. I want to be their God. That's why you got to be careful. That's why you can't give your emotions. And then when you got little people in your house that are dependent on you, in the whole house is under a tornado watch, because a storm is brewing. If you can sense the storm, what do you think about those little people? Because at least what you have is a caliber that can fight against it. They don't have anything. They're open to the elements. And if you don't fight for them, the wind can carry their emotions, their feelings, and when it drops them, they don't know what to do with the drop. See, you know what I mean? They don't know what to do with the drop. And if you are not the defender, if you are not the gate, if you are not the protector, they're in trouble. And the thing about those little people, they're growing up with what's in them. They're going to leave your house with what's in them. They're going to carry on in life with what's in them. And think about what you're dealing with. If you feel like I'm on the edge, if you feel like I'm going to break, if you feel like I'm not going to be able to take this anymore, the little people can be under the same pressure as you are. The little people, and a lot of time it may be a different experience because the way he's directing that may not be the way he's directing it exactly to the kids. And sometimes the way he's directing to you, he's directing to the kids. If you're breaking, the kids are traumatized. They're in turmoil. They can't function at school. They can't function in their personal life. They can't function with their friends because there's none. They're isolated. And the narcissist won't let them have friends because they don't want them to talk. They don't want them to tell the story. So in order to silence them, you torment them. You take them to a place and you make them be afraid to be any other place. Danielle said, holidays Hoovers are extreme target storms that you just gotta push through. Absolutely. Eminem said, that's how my parents are. Will not help you succeed unless you're their slave. I won't go back to that again. Absolutely. And see, the holiday Hoovers is just like the holiday. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Friday is the day after Thanksgiving. Plus, to be free, Karen said, when a narcissist comes home, they bring a dark, low vibration of evil. Everyone can feel the negativity. But a lot of times it's covered up because you're so happy. They prepare the way. They prepare the way because the narcissist is afraid of an injury. So they test the ground. They call you to see how you open. Will you forgive them? Do you want to still go to therapy? And you're talking to them. It's difficult because most people won't understand why you stand away from your family. And they try to blame you. Of course. Because most people don't experience with their family what we experience with our families. When you have a narcissist family, I didn't have a narcissist family. I had a very caring mother who gave us love and attention and care. Excuse me. And the first time I recognized narcissists after I left home, because I didn't have that in my house. I didn't have that craziness. And we were some wild kids, but we all loved. We all cared for each other. But when you have been, I knew people who was raised up, and I would wonder, how can a mother do that to their child? How can a mother test their child like this? She said, this is true cluster B free, Karen. How can they test their child like that? When they supposed to love them. When they supposed to care about them. You see? And because you are dealing with darkness, you experience darkness. And the holidays is where your shields got to be up. Because everybody's laughing, everybody's happy. Especially Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving bring Christmas in. Christmas is the most prominent giving season. Christmas is. People are nice around Christmas. People that are normally hateful are not as hateful around Christmas. They don't even have to be Christians. They're just naturally nicer. It's like that holiday suppresses that spirit, and it doesn't have the total release valve that it has throughout the year. It has to go to an extremity because human nature kick in. And most humans are naturally nicer. They give because it's a season of giving. They want to give. They want to help. And that can be overwhelming when it's massive. So a massive amount of people want to help other people, changes the culture around them. And that's why the narcissists hate that day. People are giving gifts, and unless it's them, they don't want you to give gifts. They don't want you to love anybody else. The narcissist, that's why at parties, watch the narcissist on holiday. They want to tell the best jokes, so all attention goes to them. They want to tell the best story, so all attention goes to them. Or they will act like the victim to make it look like you've done something to them. And you can't figure out what's wrong with them. She said holidays are an easy cloak for a narcissist to maneuver. Absolutely. Because everybody's nice. And remember, he's mirroring their conformers. She said narcissists are holiday bamboozle the target. Use the holiday to bamboozle the target. Present a count on nostalgia to allow them back in. You got to remember, these are skilled predators. Predators know how to get their prey. When a lion has its eyes on the prey, it's very stealth. And it begins to creep on the prey without them knowing. They hide in the bushes. They camouflage to an environment until they get close enough to pounce. And when the prey recognize that they're there, it's too late. Because unless you're a cheater with the speed, they got you. And the only time you can get them off track is distance. You got to outrun them. Or you zigzag. Because a lion cannot zigzag. That's why the cheetah, they can't catch the cheetah. But they're going 80 miles an hour. So how are you going to catch up with that? They start off. But a hart, a buffalo, the weight of them slows them down. The weight of your emotion can slow down the speed of your wisdom. And you can't get away. You can't get out. The weight of your emotion can slow you down. Because it'll slow down your wisdom. And then when the weight of your emotion kick in, your memory is selective. Your memory will start remembering the good things they did. Not why you was glad. When they left, you was glad they left. You said, oh God, now I can have some freedom. But when they love bomb you, you forget all of that. It's like a woman having a baby. When she's in labor, she said, I'm never going to do this again. After the baby is born, she's pregnant again. Because you forget. You don't recall. And that's what the narcissists depend on. You're not being able to recall. When you don't recall, you're not going to properly assess the situation. You're going to give in to the Hoover because they can beg and use false tears. Have you ever had them to use those tears where they cried? Oh my God, they cried. I mean, they sound like a kid that lost their toy. A grown man, a grown woman. Women can cry. But it's something when you see a grown man cry. I never loved anybody like you. Please let me do it one more time. Let me try it one more time. He's been doing it one more time for the last 10 years. And for the last 10 years, you kept giving them one more time. How come it's now the 11th time? If he really meant it the first time. How did you get 10 years from the first year he left? And he kept leaving and coming back. And he ever leaving and coming back. And now he's back again because it's another holiday. Helen said, no contact is necessary. Why would anyone want to be around people that wait for an opportunity to strike at through their negative words and conversation? It's called trauma bonding. That's how. And Danielle said, I must be intentional with not allowing my mind to lock into the narc during the holiday time. You have to be. Because if you don't, you're going to be emotional. You either be intentional or you be emotional. If you're intentional, it's with wisdom. It's with determination. If you're emotion, you're going to bend and break because you're going to look at what's around you. Well, maybe I'm not being right. Maybe I'm being too mean. Maybe I'm being too harsh. How? You got 10 years, 20 years, 30 years of evidence. In the court, when there's evidence, it's factual. The judgment is based on the evidence. The judgment is based on your evidence. You got 10 years of it. 10 years, 30 years, 50 years. Some of you had 60 years. She said, it's mind over matter. Should be, but not when you're dealing with trauma bonding. Trauma bonding past logic and get into feelings. And when trauma bonding past logic, it's a stronghold of the mind and of the thoughts. When he captivates your thoughts, that's not his ultimate goal. His ultimate goal is to captivate your desire and imagination. Because if he captivate, this is where you create. This is where you dominate. This is where you lodge. And then they captivate your will, where you don't even have the will to fight, the ability to fight. You got fight in you, but you don't fight. You think it's logic. It's not logic to be in the place for 40 years and get abused. It's not logical. Everything in your human element say leave. Everything in your human element say fight. Everything in your human element say, this is not right. This can't be right. I gotta be worth more than this. Everything in you is saying it. But there's no agreement because there's so much cortisol to it's blocking your pattern in your brain. It's blocking the signal that lets you know that something is wrong. She says how I felt this week when my girlfriend was questioning me about not going to my family for the holidays. I told her I'm the one that's being abused for decades. Absolutely. And see, this is what we're talking about, gaslighting. Gaslighting is when they want you to think that something's wrong with you. Hey, you grew up with your family. She didn't. She probably had a loving family. You didn't have that. You can even attest to that. That was not your experience. That was not your goal. That was not their goal. In your life, you was another plus to torture, torment, to bring them out of who they really were. Of course, they're not going to understand. They're not going to understand why you were going through that. They're not going to understand MMXW. That's why you got to talk to the right people, because most people don't believe a person can be that cruel. They don't believe that. There is no way somebody can be that cruel unless you did something. What if you did nothing and you didn't? What if you gave them everything you could give them? Like Karen was saying, I gave him everything. Everything I thought that he even wanted. I made sure I did it before he could ask. And then no matter what I did, it was never enough. And when it was never enough, they made me feel like I wasn't enough. Because I felt like a failure because nothing was working. Hello there, Kendra. Yeah, she said nothing was working. Nothing. No matter. And I gave my life. I gave my youth. I gave my skills. I gave my time. I gave up my dreams. I gave my energy. And many of you gave your health. You gave your health. And then sometimes, she said, I'm sure. She said, I sure was a people pleaser. And now I'm guarding my peace. Absolutely. You can't pay for that. You can't pay for that. And then the holidays, they're thinking about you. Because they're thinking this is the opportunity to pull them in. Why? Because I'm going to use them again. I'm going to hurt them again. I'm going to tear up their emotion again. I'm really going to tear up if they come back because they have the nerve not to respond and to leave me. She said, everything from you is nothing to the not. No, you can't give them enough. You'll be broke. You'll be devastated. And they still saying it's not enough. If you look at your life, remember I was talking about the evidence? When you're in court, the judgment is made on the evidence presented. If you presented enough evidence, then you can notate whether they're guilty or not. I've known people to be very successful, very wealthy. When they left their narcissist, they didn't even have a house, not even a pot to pee in. And it took them years to figure out, how did that happen? I worked 20 years. I worked 30 years. I lost it in 5 years. I lost it in 3 years. How did I do that? Where was I? What was wrong with me? Where was my family? Where was my friend? You got isolated. You didn't see what the narcissist was doing with your friends, that the narcissist was winning them over. You didn't take note of the change in your friends. When they used to be with you, now they talk more with him. She said, I was the one buying gifts for everyone. Everyone was one-sided for so many years. She said, I'm so thankful I get to take care of me now. I'm giving you a high five, MMXW. Oh, we understand. You with a group that know what you're talking about, honey. And it's good. I love the saying that Cluster B Free Karen has. Self-care is not selfish. Are you listening to me? Self-care is not selfish. If you don't take care of yourself, who's going to do it? Not the narcissist. Excuse me. Not the narcissist. They're not going to take care of you. You can take care of them, but they're not going to take care of you. Ain't going to happen. She said, amen. Let me tell you something. During these holidays, put your shields up. And you know what, MMXW? Keep the no contact. No matter what their friends say, no matter if their friend don't understand, you know. Helen say, materialistic things will never replace your sanity. Girl, I'm giving you a high five. Helen, that is so right. It won't. And like MMXW say, you can't compromise your peace. Nothing pays for your peace. Nothing. You will have peace than $1 million. What good is it to have $1 million when you have no peace? There are some wealthy people with a narcissist. They're on tagament. Their stomach is tore up. They can't eat. They can't sleep. When they go for business meeting, they can't think. They have to hire somebody because they got the money for a person to think for them because their brain is so strained they can't even go forward. Ooh, Custer B. Free said, have zero tolerance for toxicity and bulletproof boundaries. She said manipulators hate it when boundaries are set. She said follow through with the consequences to the narcissist. Absolutely. Danielle said peace is not in material things. No, because they change. You can spend that, but you can keep your peace. Your material things is outside. Your peace is inside. Which would you rather have? External quietness or internal quietness that possesses everything else? Because when you possess your peace, you can possess everything else. And baby, being with a narcissist, that's almost impossible. Because of the way they are, what they do, how they operate. And they operate on a scale of toxicity and chaos. It's something when you can see the storm brewing and you have shelter beneath you, and you don't go because you think the storm is not coming and you see it coming. You in denial does not stop the storm, but you in safety can prevent your ruin. Cluster B free, Karen, exactly. Those boundaries, keep them out, no matter how much they try. See, when you done experienced this, I'm about to have to tell you nothing. You knew what it took to keep your sanity. You knew what it took to keep you from going over the edge. You know what it takes to keep from hurting somebody, unaliving somebody. Because you thought, I cannot take anymore. I done had enough of this. Especially when it's more than you. Your kids are too scared sometimes to talk, to tell. But you know something is happening. Go with your intuition. Protect your family. Get out of your emotions these holidays. Don't let the terrorists back in. Don't let destruction back in. They chose to leave, then allow their exit to be your freedom. Because you can rebuild. You can restock all of your emotions. You can recover everything you've been through. You have the strength of that. Tammy said, everything that you're saying, nothing but facts. She said, I ran into your daughter a few weeks ago. Both of you have been so important in my healing. Tammy, I am so glad. It means so much to us to see that you recover. We give our life for your recovery. You know why? Because there was no one there for us. No one there to confirm what we were going through. There was no one else to interject wisdom into our situation. And we want to be there for you. To tell you these holidays, you have the strength. And if you don't, we got it. You have the courage. If you don't, we got it. We'll give you some of our courage. We'll give you some of our strength. You said, but I'm in the recovery zone, and we will help you recover. It's not impossible. Oh, Tammy, it is such an honor for Dr. Brian and I to be able to give to you. We just want you to keep what you got. Don't compromise it. Don't sell yourself short, and don't devalue yourself. You are powerful. You are an indelible woman. The strength of God can be with you. And you can go forward and then do what we're doing. Reach back for a hurting sister. Reach back for a hurting woman. Let them know you don't have to be by yourself. You have a wall, and I will be that wall for you. Hey, I want to wish you all a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for spending this Thanksgiving Eve with me. Cluster B Free said, after 33 years of the police coming due to his rages, I moved to a one-bedroom with an air mattress, lamp, and bedding, a few dishes, and peace. Peace is priceless, protected at all costs. God is with you. Oh, Karen, I'm giving you a high five for that one. I'm giving you a high five for that one. All right, y'all, my time is up. And I want to thank you so much for being with me. Join me again on next week, Wednesday evening. And remember, I come on Clubhouse, 7:45 Pacific Standard Time, where we can hear your voice. You can vocalize. Some of you are probably at work, but I appreciate you. MMXW, thank you so much. And Eminem, thank you for spending this time with me. I honor you. I bless you. Danielle, Karen, and all the rest of you that are on board. Thank you so much for the time you spend with me. I want to say once again, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And I will see you next week. God bless. Bye-bye.